What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the Daily Grind. I'm your host, Chump Change. This is live and recorded. If you have any questions after the fact or suggestions, leave it in the comments below. What's going on? UK Miners Club, good to see you. Sadie, sometimes. How you doing? Automatic Beats, Matt Electron, my frequent flyer. What's up, buddy? Integra Guy, Game with Smokey Dan, Big Black Snake Mining, love the name. Solar Miner, Leo Hash Coin, what's up, buddy? Cook 405, Will Wyman, All Set Miner, DJ Mines, appreciate you. Kyle Rosa, Canadian Miner, and Dumpster Fire. What's up, guys? Good to see you all. Hopefully I didn't miss anybody. If I did, I apologize. If you have any questions, just at me in the chat. It's early and I'm tired. Damn it. All right, let's get into this. Just talk about some the market, I guess, and then we'll watch a couple videos together. Bitcoin 23,268. Not too bad overall, actually. At least it's kind of holding the 23 mark. We have ETH at 1600. Not too bad. Fear and Greed Index 51. So still neutral, dead center. Top 10 coins, how we looking today? Everything. So Bitcoin, Ethereum, Tether, BNB, USD coin. We have XRP, OKB in 7th. Look at that. Cardano. We have Matic in 9th, Doge in 10th, and Binance USD got kicked to 11th. Still there. Interesting. Galaxy said, still in bed. Good morning, Crypto Mikkel. Steven Cicero, what's up, buddy? Good to see you. Good to see you. What's up? Kia Enigma Adventures. That is a tough one to say all at once. All right, so I don't know if you guys were here for the other day when we found the article on the underground mine. The guy was like stealing electricity, and then we blamed Red Panda. It was pretty brutal. Chump, check out the HNS chart. HNS. I'll just search it here. HNS chart. Handshake. How's things looking here? All right, well, either way, we'll look at this quick, but let me full screen this a bit. The underground, what's it called, crypto mine that the guy was stealing electricity from the school, right? There's an article when he faced the judge. There's like a video. It's like 2 minutes long. I want to watch it. It's kind of funny. Where is the greed index? You just go to Crypto Fear and Greed Index. Just Google it, and it will bring you to alternative me. Or alternative.me or something. I don't know, but yeah, this is good to watch. You know, be greedy when people are fearful, and be fearful when people are greedy. Good way to look at. To be honest, I'm not a huge fan of Handshake, but this is the chart. I don't know if you guys want to like dive into it more than that, but what's going on, Slaw Squash? Yes, please hit that like button. Deadly Wolf, what's up, dude? Good morning, man. I'm freaking tired today. All right, anyways, let's check it out. So this is the guy. This is the guy. This has been stealing, or has been stealing, power for like 8 months from a middle/high school. So let's see what this guy what they have to say here. He faced the judge. Hopefully it's not too loud.
They say less is more.
We gotta get through this. It's not on YouTube, sorry. Can't get premium.
Only 5 Investigates was there as Nadim Nahas, with his attorney, arrived at Quincy District Court this morning,
Mr. Nahas.
where he was arraigned on charges of fraudulent use of electricity and vandalizing a school. Prosecutors say at the time he was Cohasset's assistant director of facilities, he built a crypto mine in this crawl space, using nearly a dozen mining machines, computers running round the clock to try to solve complex problems, with hopes of earning cryptocurrency like Bitcoin. He had originally told police he didn't know anything about it.
Based on identifying information that they located on those items, they were able to find credit card transaction information for those items that were purchased together, tracing back to a credit card owned by Mr. Nadim Nahas. Your Honor, the total amount of electricity used to run those machines fraudulently is alleged to be around $18,000.
A not guilty plea was entered for Nahas. His attorney said they didn't show up to court yesterday because he had asked to have the court date postponed. That motion was never acted upon. Now, the judge waived the fee for his arrest warrant. Nahas was released on his own personal recognizance and told to stay away from public buildings in Cohasset. Maria?
And Chuck E. Cheese's, in case you're wondering. But no, that's so funny. Honestly, I didn't expect him to, I expected him to look differently. I was like, oh, damn. Oh, God, why is it so loud? Get out of here. All right, gotta X that out. See ya. Anyways, yeah, I thought it was pretty interesting. And then we had another article here. Gary Hensler, again, says Bitcoin is not a security. What about Ethereum? It goes on to talk about it a little bit. Let's see. You guys have any questions? He used his credit card. Yeah, all set Myers. Kind of a dumbass. That's, if you're trying to do something stupid, don't use your credit card, because you're just going to be effed, right? I really don't want to read this. You guys want to read this? I feel like I should actually proofread this and see what the hell's going on. You know what? I'm just going to put a link to this in the chat. If you guys want to read it, feel free. This, I don't know. I mean, it's been mentioned before, same exact thing. So if you guys want to check that out, feel free. But I found that little article kind of interesting. I do want to watch something from Altcoin Daily, though, so shout out to them. Go like and subscribe. I will leave it down in the description below. This is a I don't know, he's on talks with this guy Brendan Green. I'm not sure who he is, but I guess we're gonna find out in a second. So it says, how much Bitcoin to be a crypto millionaire in 10 years. I want to see what the conversation leads to. I don't know if you guys have seen it or heard it. Ethereum is, said Crypt Technology. Nice, perfect. Oh, kick my camera, my bad. What's up, Little Time Mining? Good to see you. All right, let's get into this. Let's see what Altcoin Daily has to say, or how this interview went, and we'll go from there. Turn down this music. If you guys have any questions, just add me in the chat. Feel free. I'm just doing my morning rounds, trying to find things interesting.
How much Bitcoin do you think the average person could save up today to be considered a millionaire within 10 years? Be real.
Within 10 years, so that would be 2032 or
Sure.
2033.
And I say within 10 years, you know, so whatever the top
yeah.
is.
Okay. Okay, so if we say 2025 will be a top, 2029 will be a top, 2033 could be a top. So, you know, we'll pretend like it is.
Every 4 years?
So 2033, I would say the top could be somewhere in the...
Isn't that on the halving schedule, if I'm not mistaken?
Welcome back, everybody, to Altcoin Daily. Today we are joined by the man, the legend, friend of the channel, representing Bitcoin Miami 2023, Brandon Green. Brandon, how are you doing today?
Dude, I'm doing great, Aaron. How are you doing?
I'm doing excellent. Now, for the folks at home who maybe didn't see our interview last year, introduce yourself to the Altcoin Daily audience. Brag a little bit. Tell us about you.
Yeah, sure. Well, so I got into the Bitcoin space in 2017. Literally have been working at BTC Inc. Bitcoin magazine, Bitcoin conference ever since. And yeah, I mean, have grown up with this space a lot. So, you know, it was my first job out of college. You know, was a real hustler, but didn't know much about business and how to, you know, make things successful, and, you know, learned a lot of lessons going through all the bull and bears. So, you know, we're back in the bear, but that's fine by me. It's a better time.
Real quick, elaborating on the last story, Mr. Game with Smokey Dan said, I wonder, though, how many struggling schools and colleges will start to put farms and spaces for heat, as well as mine funds to keep the place running. Yeah, I mean it's kind of a good point. I mean, if they need the heat, yeah, makes sense, right?
Time to build.
Totally. Let's jump right into it, Brandon. How bullish are you on Bitcoin long term?
I don't think that there's like a way to like properly articulate how bullish I am. I mean, the truth is like if Bitcoin plays out in the way that we think it will, then it's an entirely different paradigm. Like you can't measure it by kind of the way that you've measured society or money or human history. Really, I mean, this is an inflection point. This is the ability to create a like value system that unites the entire world around like a common language. And a common value metric. And so someone in the other part of the world who's creating value, building something that advances human civilization, that value is captured in the Bitcoin's overall value that I'm holding as well. And so I see upside from that. My purchasing power increases because someone across the world created value. That's the kind of thing that aligns us to go up the Kardashev scale and become something greater than we've ever been as a human species. So tremendously bullish. Tremendously bullish.
So why are you so bullish on Bitcoin?
Why am I so bullish on Bitcoin? Well, I mean, I think that there's a few different answers to that. Number one, I'm bullish on Bitcoin just because it has all of the necessary kind of requirements of a
Yeah, the guy just kind of went in like a circle and he's like, all right, so why?
a decentralized currency, a currency that ultimately the entire world can unite around. And so obviously it is decentralized in and of itself, right? Like no one can control it, and it's censorship resistant. No one can stop you from using it. Kind of the things that people talk about all the time, right? The reasons why you're bullish about Bitcoin is the reasons why everyone's bullish about Bitcoin. The real trick is being able to take that first understanding and then apply like the next couple of steps and just be like, okay, well, if Bitcoin's what we say it is, then like what does that mean? And it means that you have the future currency that every single human being is going to use, period. So and maybe even beyond, right? Like this can become interplanetary. This can become it probably wouldn't get outside of the 10-minute hash horizon that currently with block times we are limited by, but that would certainly get us to the moon and make an interesting dynamic with Mars if we were ever to colonize Mars as well. So I mean, it's a new paradigm.
I'm getting hot over here with you talking about that. Before we go any further, Brandon, let's pivot to the Bitcoin conference. You're representing the Bitcoin conference. Tell us about it. What can we look forward to with Bitcoin Miami 2023?
And before you guys decide or think about even going to that, DJ Mines has went and it's stupid expensive. So yeah, just I don't know. I don't know if it's worth it. DJ, would you go again? If you I guess if you got a free ticket again, would you go?
Yeah, so Bitcoin Miami 2023, the Bitcoin 2023 conference, we're looking kind of holistically at the industry and like mask off, gloves off, man. It's been a bear market and a half. Like we have seen some of the stalwarts of our industry absolutely crumble or turn out to be complete frauds. And so a big part of what I think the conference is going to be this year is a kind of like reality check to everyone, like, hey, are you still here? Are you still alive? Are you still working in the space? Like, are you still building? And then the second question of really, I guess three questions. Second question of what happened, right? Like, how did we allow all these companies, all these actors to go off and create, terrible products or predatory products or fraudulent products? And then the third question is, where do we go from here? Like, how do we start rebuilding the entire industry from a standpoint, A, of like Bitcoin focused, Bitcoin only, and B, with the principles of Bitcoin at our core. So, things like transparency and decentralization and, a bit more of a robust and anti-fragile sort of economy at its core. I mean, like that's what we need to be doing. And the fact that we ever strayed from that kind of vision as a industry, I think is the reason why we had such a bad bear market. And so, that's going to be, a big theme. And then I would say outside of that, we're going to have the cast of Bitcoiners that you want to come see, the people who are kind of leading the charge in terms of thought leadership, in terms of, adoption across the world. We had a conference in Amsterdam back in October. It was our first foray kind of into the European market. We got to meet a ton of amazing European Bitcoiners. So getting them to come into the US and kind of talk more about what they're doing and what they're seeing, and vice versa, getting more US folks to go abroad and kind of meet other Bitcoiners around the world. Like, this does not stop in Miami. Miami is just a launching point for people to go on their journey, learn about Bitcoin, adopt it in like their own use, and teach other people about it.
Real quick, DJ said F no, he wouldn't go again. He said they would need to pay for my hotel also and flight. Then I would. He said free ticket was nice, but still spent like $3K just to go to the conference. That's insane in Miami. He said all the meals are $17 plus. That's for the cheapest thing on the menu. Hotels are $500 a night. That's insane. Andy said the beach is far from his Airbnb. It was like 4 miles away. It took him 45 minutes to drive, and the traffic was terrible. That's awful.
By doing so, the mission grows and the platform grows, and ultimately we achieve our goals of hyper Bitcoinization.
I'm psyched. I can't wait to go. Use code altcoin daily, 10% off, linked below. Come hang out with me. Come hang out with Brandon. Now, Brandon, let's pivot back to Bitcoin itself. How much Bitcoin do you think the average person could save up today to be considered a millionaire within 10 years? Be real.
Within 10 years, so that would be 2032 or
Sure.
2033.
And I say within 10 years, so whatever the top is.
Okay. Okay. So if we say 2025 will be a top, 2029 will be a top, 2033 could be a top. So we'll pretend like it is. So 2033, I would say the top could be somewhere in the 10 to really $100 million range per Bitcoin. And so, at that point, could you be a millionaire holding
Wait. What the hell did that guy just say?
If we say 2025 will be a top, 2029 will be a top, 2033 could be a top. So, we'll pretend like it is. So 2033, I would say the top could be somewhere in the 10 to really $100 million range per Bitcoin.
Say 100 million. What? I understand, like there's only 21 million in the world, but what? That's a bold statement, sir. Just saying.
Bitcoin.
I hope.
And so, at that point,
I think this guy's smoking too much opium in the morning. You know what I mean? That's insane.
Could you be a millionaire holding 0.01 BTC? I think it's totally possible.
DJ says these BTC conference people are morons. Oh man.
I would not be surprised.
0.1 BTC?
0.01 BTC.
Holy hell. And
hold on, now I gotta rewind that. What did he say? 0.1?
Like it is. So 2033, I would say the top could be somewhere in the 10 to really $100 million range per Bitcoin. And so, at that point, could you be a millionaire holding 0.01 BTC? I think it's totally possible. I would not be surprised.
look at Aaron's face. He's like, you're on crack. Like straight crack.
0.1 BTC?
0.01 BTC.
Holy hell. And
he's like, I immediately regret this conversation we're having right now on my channel. That was the look he just gave the camera. That's all right.
The price, the actual prediction of the price you said was 10 million, possibly?
Yeah, I think it could go as high as 100 million in one of these bull runs.
Well, Aaron just tried to save you, and he made himself look like an ass again.
It's totally possible. Like the real question, and again, this goes back to like one of these questions that we have as an industry. It's just like, what's our appetite for leverage, right? Because what we saw in this past bull run in 2021 was that there was, the classic mania phase, but that mania phase had basically been absorbed by paper Bitcoin, circulation credit. The Bitcoin supply expanded. in 2021 to serve the need of new interest in Bitcoin. And so because of that, what happened is people went leverage long early in the cycle. They're like, oh, we know this thing's going to rip. We're going to go margin long now. And then we're not going to sell any Bitcoin until it's time to sell here at the end. And so what?
Real quick, Paul D said 1 million top. How much BTC would you need? I don't really understand your question fully, Paul D. How much would you need for what? I guess.
What that meant is that, you know, those buys that they were basically pulling from in the future, they bought, but while, you know, there was still a ton of liquidity in Bitcoin when people were still selling a shit ton of Bitcoin. And so it didn't have the impact on the price that the buys would have had if they were spread out across the entire bull run. And really, you know, I say I don't blame him, but I think Elon had a huge factor in this, right? Like Elon got into Bitcoin, like tweeted, you know, in hindsight, it was inevitable, whatever, tweeted in like January or early February. And this is a bull run that like was just getting started. It was supposed to be a mania phase in November, December. And so imagine if he had not said that and waited until November, December, and like all the Elon acolytes and all the media craze happened then. I mean, we would have already been running up to 70, 80K before he was even saying anything. So like, that's where I think, this past cycle was a bit of a difficult one to analyze because A, you had tons of leverage, and then B, you short-circuited the mania phase early in the cycle. And so, you know, if you're kind of looking a bit more historically, what you generally see is close to 100x from the previous bottom. So, you know, going back, you went like 2013, I guess we'll just go from 2013, right? We hit like 1200, you go back down, you trade around like 200 or 180, I think was the bottom there. And then we hit 18,000, 19,000 in 2017, right? So it's 100x, 180 to 18,000. You go back down, we've now hit a bottom somewhere around 15,000, let's call it. So if you 100x from the bottom from there, like I think 1.5 million in the next bull run is like not that crazy at all.
What? And I paused that at the perfect moment. Look at Aaron's face. He's like, "What did you just say?" This guy's absolutely. You know what I mean? Just saying. All right.
I just think that like the demand is there. Like think about
I honestly think Aaron's enjoying this. He's just enjoying the hopium in this guy's voice. But I mean, hey, listen, all right. I hope Bitcoin gets to $1 million. 100 million, I think's a far cry away. You know, there's a fine line between like hopium and just insanity. So yeah, that's that.
World that is interacting with Bitcoin today. We have a world where the US dollar is losing its hegemony. You have countries who are deciding between, do I want to stick with the US dollar or do I want to go with the communist China regime? Those are my two options, right? Doesn't Bitcoin being this third apolitical Switzerland type option for a global currency already show its value? I mean, people are already holding gold. These countries are already accumulating gold. So, this is just one narrative, but I think nation states are going to get very much into the Bitcoin game. And, they have blank checks. They print money and buy things with it. So yeah, I could see it run up pretty hugely in the next cycle.
Crypt Technology said countries are thinking about bailing on the US dollar. Actually, I think didn't Europe make their own coin or something along those lines? Kind of like like USDC, right? Someone mentioned that last night, I think, in Saturday Night Live. I don't remember who.
Wow. In the next cycle, I didn't expect you to be that bullish. I knew you were bullish, but not that bullish. But so just like, sum that up for me. So when it comes to thinking about the next cycle, if it hits over 1 million, or certainly in the future when it hits 1 million, 10 million, 100 million, what if only, where is that demand coming from? Is it coming from more Elons, more business owners? You mentioned some countries. Where does the demand come from?
Yeah, it's a good question. So like, I think if you look at the adoption metrics today, let's say somewhere around 10% of like Americans own a meaningful amount of Bitcoin. All right. That's actually an undershoot based on what like Kraken and Coinbase data says of like their in Gemini, like their US users. But let's just say it's 10%. I think that's fair. it's not just about going from 10 to 90% US investors owning Bitcoin, but it's also about their allocation, right? So, most people who are sitting on, podcasts in this point in the cycle, it's not that they've got 1% of their allocation, their network in the Bitcoin. They've got 100% or 70% or like something way higher. And so, where this comes from is not only the adoption of Bitcoin in terms of just like more people buying it and using it, but it's also about it becoming more and more of the financial asset that people are comfortable with in their own use in general. And so that's a huge aspect of the driver. Instead of 10% with 10% of their wealth in it, 90% with 90% of their wealth in it. Like that's where we're headed. I'm not saying it's going to happen next cycle, but that's where we're headed. And so then that's one factor. Secondly, you've got a lot of countries around the world who are flirting with central bank digital currencies. Nigeria is definitely one to be keeping track of. I think that the situation there is fascinating. To catch people up, basically, they've implemented their central bank digital currency and they've deprecated cash. They're saying basically you can't use cash anymore. You have to use their CBDC. And this is already a country that's adopting Bitcoin at a pretty surprising rate. And so, are people going to move to a like financial surveillance tool given to them by their government that it eliminates all like non-taxable markets, all black markets? You can't pay your babysitter with central bank digital currency without registering that with your tax. That's just not what people want, right? They want to get government out of their lives, out of their financial lives. And so I see tons of people in that situation moving to Bitcoin in a very meaningful way. And so that's just a fast growing country. And then we're talking about companies, companies that do international trade as more and more Forex transactions become very difficult to navigate. Bitcoin is a settlement layer for just about anyone. It's a much easier way to do it. Don't have to go through any banks, don't have to worry about anything getting seized, like this. It's so much easier. It's a much more simple process to move money internationally if you're just an international corporation. And then you get to countries. I think all of these things are in play in the next cycle. I think you will absolutely see like another country, maybe 2, maybe 5, maybe 10, like maybe more, start holding Bitcoin on their balance sheet in a really meaningful way. So yeah.
You guys think that'll happen? They'll start holding Bitcoin in their balance sheets in other countries soon, I guess.
I mean, and that's on top of like, again, this like 10 to 90 allocation, right? El Salvador currently has, a decent slug of money, but, by no stretch, maybe like 10, 20, 70 mil, like somewhere in that range, like tens of millions of dollars in Bitcoin currently. They're trying to issue a Bitcoin bond for $1 billion, right? Like they're already looking at a 100x of what they're currently allocated. Plus, they have a growing GDP. Like, where are they going to store that the excess? They're not going to store it in US dollars, I can tell you that. So they're going to be buying more Bitcoin. So, that's also a trend to be watching. So I don't know. There's a lot of different disparate threads, but that's kind of where I see the adoption coming from the next cycle.
So I don't know if you've ever thought about this. I'm sure I know people who own Bitcoin, I think a lot of Bitcoin, more than 0.01, more than 0.1, I assume, I don't know for sure. Mm-hmm. But what is to become of those people if Bitcoin hits those big numbers? Is Natalie Brunell and Peter McCormick now the new, Elon Musk's and Jeff Bezos? Like, seriously, like the people who own like big chunks of Bitcoin now and will hold, do you ever think about like what's going to happen? Are they going to just be the richest of the rich?
Yeah, so I mean, I think you have to look at like when we go to a number like $100 million in Bitcoin, right? Like in 10 years, bold claim, I know. But when you're looking at that, all right, that is a roughly what, 50,000x from here, 5,000x from here.
Oh, real quick in the chat, Kyle Rosa said after 100K, it won't be as volatile. What do you guys think about that? That's kind of a interesting question, I think. I wonder if it will be as volatile. I kind of agree with you, Kyle, to be honest. because yeah, I mean, once it gets over that 6-figure mark, there's going to be so many more people holding it, right? Yeah, that's what I'm thinking too. Big boys won't move. Yeah. Huh. That's really interesting. I never thought of it like that. That's a really interesting way to look at it. What's up, Power Minds? Good to see you, buddy.
Bad at math right now.
Let us
Let's
know
say
in the comments.
5,000x from here. And sorry if I'm wrong on that. So that would make the Bitcoin market cap somewhere around in the quadrillions. Is that right? Maybe like 2 quadrillion. So yeah, I mean, you're
This
looking
guy's
at
high.
a scenario where like the Bitcoin market cap is a bit divorced from current reality in terms of like how big it's getting. And the reason why I think that happens is because you're going to see hyperinflation of currencies. And so, you know, it means like, you know, to some extent, like both Bitcoin's value is going to be growing and
Yeah, he definitely said quadrillion. That's yeah, I don't know. That's insane. But yeah, I kind of agree with DJ too. He said I'd assume smart people will sell in the bull run and then buy back in the bear run. And that's I mean, sorry, in the bear market. But that's why what's it called? I don't know. That's kind of the way like I think too, in a sense, but the 6-figure mark is just such a dramatic level, right? Where it's kind of like it messes with you like psychologically, right? When you see it over that 6-figure mark, you're not going to want to get rid of it. You know what I mean? Let's see. This dude is like, if it goes to a bajillion, we can get Teslas. Oh my god.
the
That's great.
denominator by which we are measuring it will be shrinking. And so, you know, it's hard to say like what does that get you in terms of purchasing power in the future. Definitely a tremendously more purchasing power than you have today, but I don't think it's the same amount of purchasing power as if you had $100 million today. So, you know, it's kind of the cop out answer is to say I don't know exactly what that will mean for them and how rich they will be. But here's what I do know is that if you create a system in which the people who were non-consensus contrarian believers in Bitcoin early on, right, and they poured their souls into kind of helping you know, increase adoption around the world, those people have a certain set of values and a certain way of thinking that enables them to allocate resources in a way that society currently is not. Or do I want to
Oh
go
shit. I just jumped forward. I don't even know what. Did I jump back? I don't even know. God damn it. Didn't mean to do that. Gandalf Gray in the chat said it would be more volatile, I think, because exchange volume will be way less, which will make the markets move and volatility higher. Less on exchange equals larger price moves. Interesting. Where the hell was I just on this thing?
with the communist China in
Mm,
terms of just like more people
God damn it.
buying it and using it? But it's also about it becoming more and more of the financial asset that people are
Goddamn.
comfortable with in their own use in general. And so that's a huge aspect of the driver. You know, instead of 10% with you know, 10% of their wealth in it, 90% with 90% of their wealth in it. Like that's where we're headed. I'm not saying it's going to happen next cycle, but that's where we're headed. And so then that's one factor. Secondly, you've got a lot of countries around the world who are flirting with central bank digital currencies. Nigeria is definitely one to be keeping track of. I think that the situation.
I'm going to scroll forward. I think I was up here more. I apologize, guys. That's why I used the space bar, but I had an epic fail with the space bar, so I'm not doing that again.
I think a lot of Bitcoin, more than 0.01, more than 0.1, I assume, you know, I don't know for sure.
Mm-hmm.
But what is to become of those people if Bitcoin hits those big numbers? Is Natalie Brunell and Peter McCormick now the new, you know, Elon Musk's and Jeff Bezos? Like seriously, like the people who own like big chunks of Bitcoin now and will hold. Do you ever think about like what's going to happen? Are they going to just be the richest of the rich?
Yeah, so I mean, I think you have to look at like when we go to a number like $100 million in Bitcoin, right? Like in 10 years, bold claim, I know. But when you're looking at that, all right, that is a roughly what, 50,000x from here, 5,000x from here. I'm bad at math right now.
Let us
Let's
know in
say
the comments.
5,000. 5,000x from here. And sorry if I'm wrong on that. So that would make the Bitcoin market cap somewhere around in the quadrillions. Is that right? Maybe like 2 quadrillion. So yeah, I mean, you're looking at a scenario where like the Bitcoin market cap is a bit divorced from current reality in terms of like how big it's getting.
Speaking of being divorced from current reality, what do you think about this guy? Is he divorced himself from reality? It's just insane. Just imagine if this guy turns out to be right after 10 years. Could you imagine? Oh my God. Hysterical. Yeah, sorry. I think we already heard a little bit of this, but whatever. We'll just finish it up.
And the reason why I think that happens is because you're going to see hyperinflation of currencies. And so, you know, it means like, you know, to some extent, like both Bitcoin's value is going to be growing and the denominator by which we are measuring it will be shrinking. And so, you know, it's hard to say like, what does that get you in terms of purchasing power in the future? Definitely a tremendously more purchasing power than you have today, but I don't think it's the same amount of purchasing power as if you had $100 million today. So, you know, it's kind of the cop-out answer is to say, I don't know exactly what that will mean for them and how rich they will be. But here's what I do know is that if you create a system in which the people who were non-consensus, contrarian believers in Bitcoin early on, right? And they poured their souls into kind of helping, you know, increase adoption around the world. Those people have a certain set of values and a certain way of thinking that enables them to allocate resources in a way that society currently is not. And so the bullish case on those people becoming wealthy or the wealthiest folks in society is that they'll be funding the things that they think is important. And so that's refunding, you know, how we do education. That's refunding how we do investments, which I think, you know, you'll see a huge amount of investment into energy and energy security and renewable energy and, you know, growing energy capacity in developing countries. And so I think that's going to be a huge thing. I think, you know, governance. I think some of these people will kind of become the leaders of their local communities, and those local communities could be way more wealthy than what, you know, countries are today, because you'll have like leaders who are willing to give back to their communities like that. So, you know, it's an interesting kind of topic to explore in terms of like, what do these whales look like in a hyper Bitcoinized world? There's plenty of dystopian takes as well. You know, it's not too hard to imagine the classic "who will pay for the roads," you know, kind of tropey things when you're talking about like a potential where all these people are bigger than governments, right? But you know, the short of it is I think it will be a realignment of the values of society, and those values will be realigned behind what made Bitcoin succeed in the first place. And so I think that's ultimately a bullish thing for everyone.
Very interesting. You've given us a lot to think about.
I mean, I'm more on lines. This guy's a little tapped. Too much opium this morning for him. But yeah, I don't know. What do you guys think about that? I don't think we need to finish anything else. I think that's pretty much it. But yeah, I don't know. Does this guy kind of like, just looking at him, does he kind of look like you guys ever play like the Wii, Nintendo Wii? Like one of those the characters. Kind of look like one. That's all I could think about the whole time he was talking. I'm a horrible person. All right. Anyways, let's see. What else you guys want to look up or talk about? And check out the chat. Real quick, in the world, right? There's 7.888 billion people in the world as of 2021. That's what I was looking up a few minutes ago. Let me see. Let me get this over here. Full screen. There we go. So there's 21 million Bitcoin, right? Supposedly, if there is still 21 in circulation. I mean, we know what 5 to 7 million have been lost forever from the old days, right? It's if you have one Bitcoin, you're gonna be you know, you're gonna be very wealthy someday, hopefully. That's pretty much the way I look at it. So you're in a significant you know, percentage that will ever be able to own that much. So take that with a grain of salt. But anyways, all right, Sia coin. Somebody's saying Sia coin in the chat. Steven Cicero. Is it just SC, right? It is SC. Up 0.3%. 004. What the hell is that? All right, let me see. What are you so excited about this for, I guess, Mr. Steven? I don't know. I'm not a huge fan of Sia coin, to be honest. Sia and Handshake, all those miners, I'm just not. I don't know. Algorand is my next alt CPU play. Interesting. I need to look into Algorand. Actually, somebody else said that too. I think it was Max Voltage actually brought that up. Even better, there are 56 million millionaires in the world. Think about it that way. Ooh, that's a good point too, actually. That is a very good point. We can look that up. How many? Yeah, right here. How many millionaires in the world? 56 million. So there's not even enough for each one of these people to own one Bitcoin. Think about that. That's kind of a good way to think of it, actually. Let's see. I wonder if there's like an article about that. Not enough Bitcoin for even every millionaire on the planet to own one. Look, North America alone. Look at this. North America alone. 26,000. Is that how it goes? Yeah, region by. Interesting. Okay. Yeah, so, man. That's just insane. Oh, right here we go. This is what I was looking at. Number of millionaires in the United States. 24 million. So literally just even in the United States, millionaires can't even own one Bitcoin. Every millionaire cannot own one Bitcoin. That's kind of interesting. That's really insane, actually, to think about. So, congratulations to you. Pat yourself on the back if you have a Bitcoin. Nice, nice. All right. Let's see. What else? What did you want to talk about Sia coin about, Mr. Steven Cicero? I apologize. Let me see if I can get my trading view up. Sure, I'm still logged in. So I know we talked about it a bit last night, and I need to look into it a little bit more today, and I do want to talk about it this week, actually. That render coin, has anybody looked into it at all? Anybody here in the chat? Let me know if you have. This, I was looking at the chart. Again, I'm not a trader though, so take it as you will. Let's see. This was the render USD chart, which right now it's in the red, right? Which means the money flow came out of the market a little bit. So the green's where the money flow comes into the market, red's out, green's back in, right? Seeing all these pumps. And looking at, I delete this line. Let's do the daily chart actually. Usually when this little wave here clips, right? This VWAP's going up, so it looks like this is going to clip soon, and if it does, if you look from here to here, that's kind of bullish, right? It's on an upward trend, so I'm assuming there could be some decent gains in it, but I did buy some personally. And I looked at this also. If you zoom in here, it did break the top and the last peak, at least with the wick, right? The candle didn't, but in general, it reached a little higher than it was previously, which is a good sign, in my opinion anyways. Let's see. iPolo G1 Mini's worth the buy. They're cheap, but let's see. We can check it out. Mine the ASIC.com. Let's see. G1 Mini. All right, so what's your electric rate? That's not it. Hold on. That is not the Mini. It's a V1. If I could like read today, that'd be nice. It's a reoccurring thing every day, though. I think we all know that at this point. All right, what's your let's see. Who asked that question? Andy. Andy, what is your electric rate? If you don't mind. So at 10 cents, I mean, you're making 29 cents a day, but let's see. Let's see where it's unprofitable. Let's go to that route. Zero profit. Literally zero profit. It is at 20 cents. But so for this, the electricity is so low, right? You're paying 17 bucks a month to run this thing. It's not bad. It's not bad. So, I mean, yeah, why? I mean, if you want to get into mining, this is a good like starter for like a kid or something, right? Or, I mean, even yourself if you want to just spend a couple $100. But the ROI, let's put it this way, it's going to take you a long time. Okay? Even if you had zero electric, right? You're only making $200 a year. And it's, what is it, $300 for this thing, I think? Yeah, so like around, Jesus, what the hell? I do not pay any of that. That is insane. That's insanity. My problem with mining the ASIC is it doesn't show you the token yield it produces. Yeah. I don't think anything does, though, does it? Does ASIC miner value do that? Again, I don't get paid by these guys to show this site. I just enjoy this calculator here because it actually works, unlike mine the ASIC. I mean, unlike ASIC miner value. Who else asked the question? Nerd Beast. I tend to agree with Max from last night. Render looks okay, but how come we didn't know about it until now? They have been around for a while now. Yeah, it's a good, I mean, it's a good point. It's an absolutely good point. And I don't disagree. I definitely need to look into it further. But the biggest thing for me, right? Let me see. What the hell is that guy's name? Oh, here we go. So this guy, right? This guy drops a lot of videos about render, actually. So they're going to be burning tokens. I don't know. Where is it? So he has, as you can see, there's one right here. Unreal news about Google. He has the AI stuff with render. He has another one with Apple and render. Like, there's just so... If Apple and Google and stuff are getting into this coin in any form or fashion, this could explode overnight. It's no different than any other shitcoin just exploding out of nowhere. You know what I mean? Like, let's be real, right? Doge, what, back, I don't even know, probably what, 5 years ago, 6 years ago? It was like nothing. And then one tweet blows this thing out of the water. You know what I mean? Then same thing with Shiba. Like, Shiba just freaking skyrockets out of nowhere. And it's still around. It's kind of, it's crazy, but to me, it came out of nowhere. Right? So, I don't know. It's not out of the realm of possibilities, in my opinion. I don't know. You see the Dynex rewards for CPU blocks? No, I have not. I actually need to do a deep dive with Dynex soon. Maybe buy the coin, but not mine the coin of a situation. Yeah, so Nerdbeast, you can't actually mine this coin. So render, you cannot mine. Render is a, as far as I know, it's not a mineable coin. It is a coin where, actually, you know, I have a tab up. I do, right here. If that would work. There we go. So how it works is you have to be accepted onto their like rendering platform or in their ecosystem somehow through like email, but it's actually closed right now. Like, you can't even get accepted into it as of right now, as far as I know. So if it is bullshit, then yeah, there you go. There's a sign, right? But either way, it's not mineable. You get rewarded for your GPUs, I guess, doing the rendering of whatever project is put forth on the network. Does that make sense? I hope. At least from what I read. I don't know. Let's see. Sweat token will go up one day. I'm gonna tape my phone to my drone and just fly it around. You think I'll get a bunch of sweat token? Just fly it down the street back and forth. Let's see. CPU blocks give you so much more. Interesting. Well, I mean, Dynex could still be a pull too. right? I've heard good and bad things about Dynex. Let me see. That's this coin right here. I need to do a deep dive with the Yeti and make sure everything's safe on it, because I heard some shady shit going on, but I don't know. I can't talk on it. But if you can't mine it, how they get your GPUs on the network? I don't know. Good question. Very good question. So it's not, well, again, right? It's not getting on the network. You're not mining it, even if they accept you onto the network. I don't know how you'd put your said bunch of GPUs onto the network, right? But once you do, then your computer is basically working for the network. It's kind of like, the way I would think of it, as like putting a node on Flux, right? You'd be putting your GPUs on this network to run in the background and make things happen, right? That would be my guess, but I don't know. The other big thing about render, if it is legit, the metaverse is only up and coming, right? Things are getting bigger and bigger. You know what? I'm just gonna watch a video with you guys, and I'll just let you listen to this guy, and he can explain it a bit, because I don't know enough about it, but I've listened to this thing like 5 times, and it's impressive if it's legit. That's kind of where I'm at. Let's see. Do I want to watch? I don't know which one I want to watch. Let's see. I guess we'll go to the, let's just watch the burn one. Yeah, he explains a little bit here, so we'll watch this one. And I'll leave a link to Altcoin Daily and this guy, Doc Crypto. He only has like almost 5,000 subs, but he's, it seems alright. He just says basically a lot. It's kind of like Max's anyway. So let's listen to this. Oh, there we go.
Hello everybody, welcome to the channel. My name is Doc, and today's video I'm gonna tell you everything you need to know about the render token burn, while it will be massive in the upcoming future, and also give you my price prediction at the end of the video. But first, let's not talk too much and get straight to the point with what is actually render. So basically, render is distributed GPU rendering on the blockchain. What this basically means is that render token is the first network to transform the power of GPU compute into a decentralized economy. So how does it work? Well, basically on the requester side, there's an artist or a programmer or a video editor or whatever who needs a rendering job, who doesn't have the time or the computing power to do it fast and doesn't want to spend $10,000s on great computers to do it. So he submits a job.
Yeah, please hit that like button. So that's what intrigued me, right? Rendering is only going to get worse and worse the more AI things go, the more what's it called, like metaverse stuff, right? Things are going to get harder to render with all of that stuff going on, just in my opinion. So I don't know, again, I don't know how legit this is, but listening to this guy kind of explain it, it makes some sense, right?
On the render network, paying in render token.
Hold on, isn't Flux doing this also? No, I wouldn't say so. I could be wrong. Let me know if you get what you guys think, but yeah, I don't think Flux is on the same type of thing.
Then the smart contracts will be made on the render network, and it will choose an operator who has the power to do it, to render your job. After he has done the job, he will submit back the rendering job to the requester and get paid in render tokens.
So I don't know if he explains it in this video, but he explained it in one of the other ones I watched. It would take it basically takes a full a job that you need rendered, right? Like say you're exporting a video that takes you, I think he explains the 24 hours, right, or something, or it takes 22 hours to render something on a MacBook Pro, say. If he puts it into this network, the network rips it apart into a bunch of pieces, renders it in, say like a GPU will render like 1%, and like every other GPU will do the same, and then they'll come back together and shoot it back to this person within like 12 minutes over 22 hours. Like it's insane. So that's why I think it could be a big deal if it's legit.
So it's very easy. You need a job, you pay with render tokens. You can do the job, you'll get paid with render tokens. You might be asking, how good is this actually? Well, basically, we got real performing games. So basically a render job, which was done on a MacBook Pro locally, would normally take 1,500 minutes. With Octane render, it only took 15 minutes. So if we take a look at the screenshot, we can see that it would normally take 25 hours for free, but if you spent only $2.50, so 2.5 render credits, it would take you 50 minutes. So for $2.50, you would save 24 hours and 45 minutes. So,
and that's kind of a insane jump. Am I wrong looking at that? Like if you had to render something and it took you only this long over this long, you know what I mean? Wouldn't you pay that $2? If you're like a big company, right?
great utility, but there is one problem with render token right now, and this is where the burn and mint equilibrium mechanism will push render to $100 and far beyond. So here is a brief explanation on why the BME mechanism is needed and why buying render now might be life-changing. So until today, like I explained, render is just a medium of exchange where someone who needs a rendering job pays in render and someone who can do the job gets paid in render. But this will be changing with the BME. So currently people just buy it and pay it for the service on the render token, but there's nothing that really happening with the render. Like it's just buying and selling. If you just buy it and pay for a render job and the operator sells it straight away, there's no value for render. But now it's coming to the details, so listen quite well. So with the new mechanism, even if you buy with fiat, this fiat is converted to render tokens and burned. No matter how someone pays, it will always result in render pay. This is really bullish, so people don't have to waste time buying render. No, they can just pay with fiat and the fiat will be transferred into render and burned. So to make sure that operators are incentive to keep offering their services, each epoch of fixed number of tokens will be distributed to operators through emission. So basically, you will get selected operators and they will get paid a fixed amount of render each month or each week for doing their operating and rendering services. So why would this be bullish? So assume
Miss Pocket said, I actually have a good question. What impact would this have on your GPUs? For example, Raven is tough on them. I mean, I don't know. I really have no idea. I don't know anybody that is on the network. So like that's like another thing. If anybody is involved in this, I would like to know. But it's really just piquing my interest because it is easily accessible. And I don't know, like all of this news coming out with whatever, hopefully it's legit. It seems like it really could be a big deal in the space, right? I don't know. You guys let me know what you think about it. I mean, I'm just watching this to kind of somewhat educate myself and you guys, and I'm hoping this is all legit, everything he's saying. So
assuming the demand for computing power will only increase in the coming years and the number of tokens distributed to operators each epoch is fixed. So the value of render will increase dramatically. So
in the chat, NerdB says, if this guy ends the video with hasta la vista, baby, I'm gonna lose it. Oh, it's a riot.
So imagine the daily render GPU demand on render token network is worth $50,000. At a price of $2, this would mean 25 tokens are being burned. Now let's say there are 10,000 render tokens to be distributed amongst operators daily. This would mean there's a net burn of 15,000 tokens. So the demand for render tokens will always stay because they're needed for creators to make use of network. So if the demand stays the same or increases and the supply goes down, the price will automatically increase.
Right, DJ has a good point. He said it has a story good enough for me. Bull run comes, this baby moons, then I sell it. Yeah, and that's exactly where I'm at. Like there is no feelings with this coin, okay? I'm solely looking at a potential massive gain, right? If this network or if this information even gets around, even if it's not like 100% true, even if it's only 50% true on some of the stuff or some of the videos or whatever. I mean, this guy is just another guy, right? He's just another YouTuber. He has nothing to do with the network itself. He's just analyzing whatever he finds. So obviously he's bullish on it. But if this is like even 50% true, if Shiba and Doge can moon, why the hell can't this, right? That's just kind of, I don't know. I'm only looking for it for gains. I will sell it if it, you know, hits pretty high.
So what they're basically saying is they're gonna add some tokens and they're gonna say to node operators who do rendering jobs, well, you can expect a daily fixed of 10,000 render. But like he said, let's imagine that the render token, that there will be, the volume will increase from 50,000 daily to 100,000 daily to 1 million daily. It will burn so much more tokens, which will mean that the price has to increase to keep up. Otherwise, it's just gonna burn too much. So the price will increase because people will need it for rendering jobs. And of course, it will be bought to burn. And if you keep buying of exchanges to burn, of course, the demand will stay the same, but the supply will increase. So the price will go up. But now you might be asking, well, Doc, can artists alone?
All right, Rabid. So you're saying it seems scammy. What's your, but you're making videos on Dynex, and that also seems kind of weird, right? Just being devil's advocate, right? So everything deserves a chance until it's proven wrong, in my opinion. But good morning. Thanks for being here, buddy.
Alone who need rendering jobs do so much? Well, there's way more than that. The first thing is the Apple partnership. So Octane X...
See, this is one thing that I want to see if it's actually legit. If there is a real Apple partnership or not.
The company of Render is actually featured in Apple's event and is actually a partner. People are still saying it's not true. Well, just go to www.apple.com, the official website, go to the Apple Pro, M2 next-gen performance with Render.
See, I don't know if that's, like, look at that. Is that legit? It's like, that looks more like the screen record button to me. I'm not going to lie, because there is a play, rewind, pause, stop button right next to it. It looks like a screen record button to me, but I hope I'm wrong. I hope I'm wrong.
Like, they already know render is the way. And why is this so bullish? I'm gonna tell you right now. So Apple is not only the biggest company in the world with a market cap of 2.2 trillion, which is way more than the crypto market right now, but they also sell more than 438 million devices per year. Over 194 million iPhones, 70 million iPads, and 15 million MacBooks. So what they're...
If it is integrated with iPads, iPhones, all that shit, yes, that would be a huge deal. But I think that's like a, I don't know, leap and bounds away, just in my opinion. If I mean, I don't know. I guess only time will tell. Only time will tell what happens with the next upcoming iPads.
We're gonna do with Render partnership and basically installing Render on every single new device is that the rendering app will be used as a live node, meaning a $500, $700, $800 iPad can perform the same rendering power live as 10,000s of GPUs because it's all connected. So can you imagine that yearly 400 million devices will get installed with Render? How much the usage is gonna be? Like we talked about, the more you...
Yeah, it's just super interesting. I don't know if you guys want to continue to watch this, but again, it just piqued my interest because it's an actual use case, and if it legit does come through with Apple or Google integrations or anything along those lines, it could be a big deal, at least in my opinion. But I don't know. You guys let me know what you think about it, either in the comments or in the live chat. All right, we're only going to go for a few more minutes. You guys have any last questions before we get out of here? Obviously, do your own research, please, on these coins. Don't just dive in because you saw something here. Right, I'm just looking at what could be a potential massive gain, and it's I don't know, AI, the metaverse, all that stuff is literally only going to get like better and bigger over time. It's going to need more compute power overall. I would say Pigeon Coin is a shill, Retro Mike. You and that Pigeon Coin. Rud Puts, what's up? Nothing is for dinner. Nothing. I need breakfast first. I'm starving. I need to eat. I'm not starving, but at least another cup of coffee because this is brutal. I'm exhausted. Love my background. Thanks. It's getting there. I'm getting there. The hearts last night that came on the TV, that was epic. Do you guys see that? At the end of the stream last night, like these hearts just started flying across on that because the that thing's like a 2-hour loop. And yeah, that's it. I don't know. Rib Puts. Hun, what's for dinner? Did you make any? I mean, not dinner, breakfast. Did you make anything? Probably not. Probably have to make my own. You're my financial advisor. God damn it. Just bought 100 render. Perfect. No, I mean, personally, I did buy some. I bought some. I think I put $500 into it just to see. If it happens, it happens. I'll sell it when it pumps. I don't care. Doesn't matter to me. She's still in bed. You're in bed. Wake the kids up. Are they up? They better be up. It's gonna be miserable. Oh, we got like another inch of snow last night, so I'm not looking forward to going out and pushing all that. Sucks. So aggravating. I'm so sick of snow. Like, when is it gonna stop? It's March. It's almost March. It's still snowing. Terrible. All right, guys. I think that's it. I'm not gonna be back later today, but I will go live again tomorrow morning at 8 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. If you guys are interested, please feel free to join. And yeah, if you guys have any suggestions or any topics you'd like to talk about, please leave it in the comments below. That'd be perfect. Or let me know in Discord. Do that as well. But either way, hopefully you guys have a great Sunday. Enjoy it, and I'll see you guys tomorrow morning. Peace out.